Hi, everybody.
This is tonight's opener, guys.
Your last opener was in my head for 2 days.
This one. What if we get hit with a copyright?
25 seconds in, and I'm already drinking.
All right, let's go. All right, we got a fun show for everybody tonight. We have Anthony Stine in studio. Well, I get whatever you call in studio these days. Nobody really goes in studio anymore. But we have a whole new lineup. I got Joe Boca back. Stephen Junot's here. Darren is back to win again, I guess. And my friend Rob on as usual. So tonight we got Matt Gaspers coming on tonight. We got a bunch of stuff going on. But Rob and I have been trying to talk about like different ways we could make the show a little different, and we were saying possibly having like a kids version, letting like if people have kids between like 10 and 15 that want to come on the show and compete against each other, and then maybe give them prizes. I don't know if anybody would be up for that.
You might run into some YouTube problems with having kids on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They frown on showing children. You might get away with it live. Like I've had my 6-month-old daughter in a live stream before, just like, your baby, but they actually frown on that.
All right. We got the chat slowly building up. Don's in.
Are you more categorized?
That's actually a good idea.
That's a good one. I like that.
YouTube doesn't like kid-focused things. All right. Well,
they will shun you to the outer reaches of YouTube Kids.
Why? Oh, is that what they'll do? They'll stick you on YouTube Kids.
Pretty much. And you get I don't know if you're monetized or not. They won't put any ads on it, and they will throttle you for ages because you put children in it. Like seriously, they will. It'll last months.
Yeah, and we're trying to grow the show, so we're gonna have to lean away from everything.
You can do it on Rumble.
All right, so and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions because I watch you every morning on my way into work. So I wake up, I leave for work at 4 a.m. I get in my car, and instead of hearing like something to brighten my day up, I hear how the world and church are collapsing with Anthony Stine every morning.
When I find good news, I try to report it. There just isn't that much.
Yeah, it's just rare these days, right?
Yeah.
What made you start doing this?
I noticed a long time ago there wasn't anybody really doing this. That there was a certain outfit out of Detroit kind of doing it, but they were really hyper-focused on one thing. And everybody else was Catholic on YouTube. The
Remnant outfit out of Detroit.
The Remnant was there. I watched a lot of the Remnant, actually. I thought that, before that became a very political, it was actually like back in the day when Michael Matt and Christopher Mara were having their conversation with a black screen and the skulls behind them. I thought that was some of the best material on YouTube.
It's funny because back then you're talking when I first found the Remnant, like I was still a Lighthouse Catholic Media Catholic, I would say. I
was one of those at one time too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the new evangelization and the hermeneutic of continuity.
I still have a soft spot in my heart for Peter Kraft.
Oh, I love Peter Kraft, definitely.
Right, like it's just I've seen him say some things about traditional Catholicism that I'm not wild about, but I've never heard him say something heterodox. So
I never got through the full work of practical theology, but that was
he has a talk out there you might want to check out that's on the Screw Tape Letters. It's really cool, and he actually does a voice for Screw Tape and everything. Like as he's
Peter Kraft. Yeah, he's amazing. He has his old podcast. He does some. He loves C.S. Lewis and he loves the Lord of the Rings. So he'll do like he did one or two on the Lord of the Rings and like talking about like the theology of the ring and stuff like that. And you'll stay mesmerized for as long as that guy's talking, man. He's brilliant.
And he teaches at Boston College, which takes some fortitude for a Catholic to do these days.
Yeah. So when I first discovered Michael Matt, I didn't even know what the Latin Mass was. I had no idea. I was like, what is this? Like, I loved his content, but I kept hearing him talk about like the Latin Mass. I'm like, what is he even talking about? Like there was a long period of time when I first converted where I thought the English Mass that we celebrate was the Mass of all time. Like I never knew they changed it. And it's funny how like you get that slow roll into like the awakening. It was like the scales dropping from your face, from your eyes.
I mean, that's part of that's amazing about it. But what's most amazing is most of us who became Latin Mass full time have an experience where after a couple of months you got invited or went to a Novus Ordo for whatever reason, whether you just decided to go or you got invited for something or whatever, and you went back and it was night and day difference. It was strange.
The shock going your first time to the Latin Mass is less shocking than your first time returning to the Novus Ordo after a long period of time.
And there are many such cases. You see a lot of people who will say that exact same thing happened.
It's shocking. You feel like you're going from a Catholic service to a Protestant service.
We've been in the Stratosphere. My wife and I, we have 2 kids, our third one on the way. And we've been in the Stratosphere for like going on 3 years. So it's summer 2019, spring 2019, Triduum of 2019 actually is when I first started. That was like my first weekend dedicated to our FSSP parish. And my wife was actually where we got married. It's still kind of our local diocesan parish, is a very charismatic, very conservative, but very charismatic parish. And exactly to your point, after going for like a month and then going back there, my wife was like, I can't do this anymore.
No,
and I thought it was going to take her years to make that adjustment. And it took weeks.
Weeks.
My wife was the same way. Do you know what my breaking point was? About a month before I had to move to Tulsa from where I live now. So I had to move to Tulsa for a job that didn't work out. And it was in Tulsa that we found the FSSP. And about a month before that, the parish that is right now, a 2-minute drive from my house, had on a Sunday morning, we've always been the type to get to Mass super early, right? And we showed up and they always had a rosary ahead of time. Well, instead of a rosary this time, it was a guy walked in with an acoustic guitar and sang a country Western version of the Divine Mercy Chaplet that took 30 minutes. That was what I was done. Because at that point I knew I was moving, and I had already looked and saw that there was a Latin Mass parish there, but it was going to be about crosstown Tulsa from us. We still go to that FSSP parish about half the time, and it takes 3 times as long to drive 90 miles to that parish as it did to go across town when living in Tulsa. So when people say, "Why do you make that drive?" I'm like, well, there are 3 Latin Mass parishes I'm going to go to in Oklahoma. 1 is an SSPX, 2 are FSSP. The rest of the options are all set of content. Set of content is derived.
Rob, do you have the microphone on your keyboard?
No, it probably sounds like it.
But
because when you type, it sounds like punching in my eardrums. Let me see. So I just want to point something out. So our audience loves us so much that Shelby is saying Anthony does great work. Obviously, I'm talking about Stine and not me, because they're so yeah. Look, I'm telling you, somebody's keyboard. Oh my god, you're gonna have to get you a softer type there, buddy. So
good luck.
We usually start. So we start the trivia around 8. So what we do is I have everybody switch over to the private chat. So Ann, if Steven, Ann, you guys are new to this, if you look over on your right, you'll see it says comments and then private chat. You guys are going to switch over to private chat, and you'll see that you guys can just talk between each other, and you can't see the live stream comments because people are going to be giving answers in the live stream comments. Now, Anthony Stine, I know you're not staying long. I know you got to get some sleep tonight. You can cut out whenever you want. I'm going to give you an easy out in about 15, 20 minutes. But if you want to participate in the trivia while you're here, you're more than welcome to.
I may stick around a little longer than that. So.
Yeah, you can stay the whole show. I just don't want you to feel pressured to have to.
Yeah.
So my brother Joey's already a fan of Joe B, saying he's going to win.
Yes, sir.
So
I don't know if it's anything like last time, man.
So I want to introduce everybody, actually. Yeah. So Darren was on last week. Everybody knows Darren from last week. Joe Boca is from Here to Help, but we actually have a little announcement that Joe and I have been talking a lot, and I asked him to start doing stuff on my channel also. So hopefully there will be a video on Malcolm
Yeah.
X forthcoming.
I plan on doing a bit of a series on that. So I've been just starting to do some research for some writing I might do about that and that subject. And I was hoping to do a whole spiel about it. It's an idiosyncratic interest of mine. So it would be a fun. Yeah, Joey the Mouth. That's a right.
Our comment sections are going to be amazing.
Listen, I didn't even know I said literally a lot until the audience kept saying, okay, literally. Every time I say it, they don't let any of us miss
like a high school
anything.
girl.
Yeah, so now Stephen Junot is I know Stephen from the Meaning of Catholic Guild. So him and I are both patrons of Meaning of Catholic, and we're both part of the guild over there. And him and I started interacting on there, and I've been bugging him to come on here since the first episode, and he finally gave in and said, all right, enough of your nonsense, I'll come. So
Happy to be here. I'm excited.
Stephen, where are you from?
I'm out of Minneapolis. I'm just north of Minneapolis, so Minnesota.
You betcha.
Yeah, it's still February here, in case anyone was wondering. So yeah, looking forward to I don't know, hopefully some normal weather starting soon. But yeah, I'm out of Minnesota, and I get to work from home. Before I was working from home, I was doing the same thing. I was listening to Anthony Stine every morning. Now I got to figure out a new repertoire on that. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Good to meet all you guys, and looking forward to partaking in the festivities. I haven't watched a show of this yet, all like the trivia portion. So this is a fully new experience for me. Really excited. So thanks, Anthony.
No, dude, you're gonna have fun tonight. You're gonna have fun. Yeah. But I just can't get over this, that Rob was posting his food pictures on Instagram. No, Mrs. C, there's nothing wrong with posting food pictures if you're a girl. If you're
or you run a food Instagram thing. Plenty of those.
Well, I'm glad I got Rob away from that, and that Rob's gonna do some things with me, because we don't need to be posting any food pictures on Instagram.
No, we don't.
So, all right, let's see. All right, so you guys are over in the private chat. Now, you're just going to put your initial in, and if you hear a question and you think you know the answer, you're basically just going to go pop and pop your initial up. Whoever gets their initial in first gets to answer the question. If you put your initial in and you get the question wrong, you lose a point. So you can't just fire your initial out and hope for the best. If you put your initial in and you get the question wrong, you lose a point. So you guys are all going to stay in there. I stay in the live comments, and I get to pick the funniest ones. And this is a shot at Mrs. C posting her chickens on Twitter. Yeah, I say the same thing. Those chickens are going to taste good soon. So, all right. So we're going to start. We're going to fire away. We're going to start with the first question. The other thing is, we brought that stupid. So the last episode, we started the episode talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and how Amber Heard took a dump in Johnny Depp's bed.
It has an unfortunate nickname because of it.
Yeah, dude, ever since I looked that video up on YouTube, my entire YouTube feed is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard or people pooping in their beds. Like, I can't believe how the algorithm works.
There are videos on YouTube of people doing that.
Taking dumps in beds. It's just like I hit refresh on my YouTube now, and it's videos of.
So I can't say Bishop Athanasius Schneider's full name on my channel without getting in trouble for some mysterious reason, but you can have videos.
I can't get over 150 views on my video. You kidding me? You'd think that my video, the algorithm would spread a little.
I watched one Johnny Depp court case video, and now they're all up on my feed.
That's it. You just get inundated with them. So,
by the way, did you see the dude they had testify from his car vaping?
No.
Oh,
my kind of guy, though.
Yeah, just Johnny Depp was losing it in the middle of the courtroom, and the jury and everyone was laughing, and literally the judge had to call recess. She's like, I've never seen this before. What? I need to take a break.
All right, so let's get fired away with the questions. So you guys know the rules. Yeah, guys. Please, guys, we actually have a decent amount of people in the chat tonight. I guess Anthony Stine. A lot of people are a fan of Anthony Stine, man. Usually we don't break like 10 people. So, all right. So you guys know the rules. I'm going to start asking questions. The first question is, What prayer practice involves meditating on sacred scripture and placing oneself into the biblical passage?
Darren.
So now don't answer. We give it a second or two. And Shelby, are we done talking about poop? That's a funny line. 70 times 7. You got the numbers wrong, but 70 times 7. All right. So yeah, what I do is now I wait and see if the chat anybody pops it in. So what prayer practice involves meditating on sacred scripture while placing oneself into? All right, I got correct answers. Which one of you guys hit it first?
Darren.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Darren.
I grew up next to a Benedictine monastery. So this is a very Benedictine practice. It's called Lectio Divina.
It is called Lexio. It's Lexio, I think, right? Lexio,
Lectio, like
Lectio.
lector, like reading lector, Lectio.
All right. Now, is Mrs. C, are you keeping track of the chat for me again? Because you got Jake Fowler, you got Faith LeVay, and you got Ariana. That's who I have. So, all right. I forgot to put you guys' names in. So we got Darren, Steven, Rob, Joe.
Rob, you're competing today?
Yeah, he got kicked off the co-host deal. He's not
like
he can't co-host because he asks questions that only like you have to be like Rain Man to know the questions.
I'm used to being like first among equals, you know?
No, dude, he's too smart. So the way I call my questions is I look at stuff and I try to find things that I know. And if I know it, I say, all right, that's a good question. Now, Rob does the same thing, and he assumes everybody's as smart as him, and nobody ever knows any of the answers to any of the questions that he picks. So, okay, so I got Jake Fowler, Jeffrey, and Faith LeVay, Mrs. C. All right, moving on to the next question. Question 2. Which saint was given the nickname Golden Mouth or Golden Tongue? Which saint was given the nickname Golden Mouth or Golden Tongue? Everyone in the chat, switch to live chat so you see it correctly.
Meanwhile, you got Matt Gaspers over here ruining it on the private end.
Oh, Matt's in. I didn't even see him. Matt, what's happening, brother?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I got to tell a quick story about Matt Gaspers because Matt Gaspers was the first like notable Catholic that I ever reached out to on Twitter. Like I had 200 followers.
The first one you ever bugged on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no idea. I started a fake fight with him and Tim Flanders. It was the most absurd thing ever. It was so dumb. I made it like they were arguing. I had hundreds of people asking me, what happened with Matt and Tim? What happened with Matt and Tim? I'm like, oh, you don't even want to know about it. It's so bad. And I wound up getting the two of them to do a show together.
It's true. True story.
It's good times, man.
Yes.
But Matt was always so gracious, man. Always like right away, always reached out to me, talked to me. Matt, you were my first like notable Catholic friend, I would say. So it's been a long time where I've been waiting to have a reason to get you on face to face. I'm glad that I was able to get you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invite. Hello, gentlemen.
So, Matt, I'll give you an easy out soon. If you're having fun, you stay the whole show. If you want to get going, you can go anytime you want. I told Anthony Stine the same thing. I ask these guys a question. They're over in the private chat. If they can answer the question, they throw their initial up. Whoever gets their initial in first gets to answer the question.
Okay.
So you don't have to compete. You could just sit and hang and make fun of everybody. So I just asked which saint is given the nickname Golden Mouth or Golden Tongue, and the correct answer is Cruz has it. So obviously not
Elon Musk.
So now what we do is every episode, whoever in the chat, we pick the first 3 people that get the correct answer in the chat. Whoever wins in the chat gets usually a book or something like that. I did get some Tridentine Brewing swag to give out, stuff like that. So if you want to compete, you could compete. If you want to just hang and talk smack with us, you could do that too. So I I have correct answers in the chat. Which one of you guys hit it first?
Joe.
Joe,
That would
what do you
be me,
got?
sir? John Chrysostom.
It is St. John Chrysostom. Joe's on the board early on. Like to see it. So, Mrs. C, I got Gregory, I got Don, and I got Jake. Okay, and my stupid phone is not on silent. I do have a ton of other correct answers. I got fans of Matt Gaspers in here. Let's see.
So does the audience compete too?
Yes, the audience competes.
Perfect.
Now,
They're the only ones that win.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you
got it,
guys,
got it.
you guys don't win anything if you win. Only the audience can win.
Why don't you tell everybody you're from New York, Anthony? Audience.
Listen, when I'm not drinking, the accent stays hidden. When I start drinking, there's no chance.
I can't talk. You're 20 minutes from me, you know?
I
Do you ever
know.
get anybody yelling at you about how evil it is that you're drinking the Devil's Brew alcohol?
Yeah.
Ignoring
So-
the fact that Benedictine monks were pioneers of brewing beer and helped.
So far,
Nice.
people have been pretty kind to us so far. But then again, only 30 people watch it. So
It's our friends and family members mostly. So
yeah, it's like, I have my sisters in the chat right now. My brother's in the chat right now. It's like, who's gonna really say anything? What do we got here? We have this is my cousin, and anytime I make a family reference, they make fun of me. This is my sister.
You have a cousin with the last name Ripperger?
Nah, she's just a Rippiga fangirl. And then my
I was
brother
like,
Joey's
well.
in here. Nah, she's just a Rippiga fangirl. Wait, Haley wants me to say park the car. Park the car in the yard. As a New Yorker, I would say park the car in the yard.
There you go.
Park the car in the yard. All right, so wait, Joe B got that. I gave him the point.
Yes, sir.
Moving on. What is the name of the liturgical headdress worn by bishops, popes, and cardinals? What is the name of the liturgical headdress worn by bishops, popes, and cardinals? Hope, anytime you want to come on, I'll throw your husband right off of here for you. I got plenty of so Hope is Rob's wife.
Oh, okay. Is
Don-
Mrs. C Mrs. Casey by any chance?
It is Mrs. Casey.
Oh,
Mrs.
very
C
good.
is Mrs. Casey, whose husband writes for Catholic Family News, right?
That's right.
Her
Yep.
husband is a contributor at Catholic Family News. Okay, I got correct answers. Which one you guys hit it?
Darren again.
I believe what you're looking for is miter.
It is Miter. Correct answer. All right. So we got in the chat. I'm seeing Jeffrey. This is
Dunce Gap.
Look at Jake. Typically, you guys in the chat.
They're all cousins too, every time.
And he got the answer right. Okay, moving on. All right, next question. Which Old Testament priest and king offered bread and wine as a foreshadow of Christ's high priesthood? Which Old Testament priest and king offered bread and wine as a foreshadow of Christ's priesthood? They're pretty easy, the questions. I don't go so insane. It's like, if you're Catholic, you probably know some of them. I got plenty of right answers. Which one of you guys got it? Darren. Oh, man. Give the other guys a chance.
Do you have a cousin that could go over there and break his finger? I'm sure you do.
Melchizedek.
It is Melchizedek. We got a lot of correct answers in the chat over here. Let's see.
But is it spelled right?
Yeah, actually they are.
Okay, I have a follow-up question for the Melchizedek. Who does anybody know? Some people theorize that Melchizedek was another Old Testament figure who lived a very long time and was still alive in the time of Abraham.
Let me think about this.
Rob's got to know that.
State the question again.
So some people, I can't remember the source
Enoch.
offhand. No, it's not Enoch. It might have been
Methuselah.
No,
I was going to go with Noah.
yeah, that's close. Actually, that's the son of Noah, Shem.
Shem?
Some people believe that Melchizedek is also Shem. I forget the source on that, and it might have been in the writings of Anne Catherine Emmerich. I don't remember for sure.
Jake, I gotta get you on with us, Jake. I said this last time to you, but Jake Fowler is
There we go.
Yeah, Jake Fowler is brilliant. I thought it was Methuselah.
He did live a long time. I think he lived the longest out of all of them. 960 odd years, something like that. I'd have to look it up.
See, you got fans of it. Yeah, Matt, if you have any questions, pop them out, man.
Will do.
Okay, so let's go and see. Wait, who got that? Darren got that, right? Yep. So far I got the score. Darren 3, Joe B 1, everyone else 0.
I gotta get my fingers all loosened up.
Come on, Steve,
get
on the board,
that's the
bro.
hardest part. Being quick is the hardest part.
I miss so much being. You want to know something? You really do, because they don't have the church fathers, the Protestants. So when we asked one question, it was like, who does tradition say was buried beneath the cross of Christ, which is Adam? But you wouldn't know that as a Protestant, because they don't have the old revealed in the new and the new concealed in the old. Yep. Bonus points for spelling it correctly. Okay. What does the church call a heathen or one who practices idolatry? That's an easy one. J-Bone, you were raised Mormon? That's wild. How'd you get out?
They beat you out.
Yeah. Yeah, babe. Maddie's here? All right, I love you. All right, I got correct answers in the chat. What you guys got?
I think I got it.
All right, what you got?
So you said, what does the church call a heathen?
Heathen or someone who practices idolatry.
Do you mean pagan?
It's pagan. Simple one. All right, now we're going to start getting into some tricky ones. Now we're going into some church history here.
Okay.
All right, so I got on the chat, I got Renee. I'm sorry, Brandon. J-Bone close, but no, we're going. Oh, Haley. So I got to go back. Let's see. All right, so I got Haley, Brandon, and Renee. Haley, Brandon, and Renee. Those are the 3 points we're going to go with. Okay, so which pope denied King Henry VIII permission to divorce his wife and marry Anne Boleyn? Which pope denied King Henry VIII permission to divorce Catherine of Aragon? I should have asked that. That should have been my next question. Who was King Henry VIII's wife?
I have the name of the pope. I think I have the number.
Stine, is that a Quebec flag behind you?
No, it's a flag associated with a group of French Catholics who fought against the British.
Nice.
It's got the Sacred Heart on it. That's why I like it. It's nice.
So I read a book recently called Heroes and Heretics of the Reformation. And in there they were talking about how Charles V, the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, was friends with the Pope, and that Catherine of Aragon, I think, was like his niece. And so that was part of the political controversy of
100%. She was her uncle was, or no, her nephew was the Holy Roman Emperor at the time. Like he was
Charles.
Man, I gotta get my Charles V.
Yeah.
So, and he was very tight with the Pope, and he was, so he had influence with the Pope, and that had a lot. It wasn't like in hindsight, we like the Pope was just so holy, but it wasn't. It was a game of politics. Like the Pope, by this point in history, you're talking 16th century, they were granting annulments.
Right. The church needed an actual internal reform, but that would have been at the person level, not at the let's throw out the theology of the church.
Yeah.
it's a fun fact of history that Henry VIII was one of the monarchs who was in the running to become the Holy Roman Emperor. He lost to
Yep.
Charles V, as I understand it.
Yeah, it's like if you even see there was an incident with Pope Alexander VI where his daughter Lucrezia had a child with her husband, but she wanted a divorce. The Pope couldn't change doctrine, so he had to prove that her husband was impotent. So he took him in front of the cardinals, in front of the Curia, and brought a prostitute in. And he goes, go ahead, perform. And he couldn't do it in front of all these people. He goes, oh, you're impotent. Sorry, annulment granted, Like he couldn't break the rules. He wasn't trying to change church teaching. But
And instead, it just causes grave scandal with a public act of impurity.
That's lore. That did not happen.
Well, the King
Matt,
Henry
this is my brother Joey.
King Henry II was married to the previous, who gave him John and Richard the Lionhearted. Was married to a woman who was married to the King of France, and then she couldn't provide the King of France any sons, and he got an annulment, and then she married the King of England.
Interesting. All right, so does anybody in the chat have the answer on that? All right, so I have a lot of incorrect answers.
I think I have the name. I'm not sure about the number.
I think I know this one too.
So I want to say it's Clement the 13th.
It's Clement. You got the number wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was Leo the 10th. So.
No, so it was. Does anybody else have it or? All right, Clement the 7th. So Darren, I'm not going to deduct the point on that because you had the name. Okay. Yeah, you had the name. So,
but I'm not going to get a point either.
No, you're not going to get a point, but you're not going to lose a point. Okay, here's a good one. May Catholics be hypnotized for therapeutic purposes?
Wow.
Can Catholics be hypnotized for therapeutic purposes?
50-50 shot.
This is 100% correct. I would have deducted it if it was you.
You wouldn't have had points to deduct, Jake.
All right, I got a lot of answers in the chat. Which one of you guys hit it?
I did. I'm just going to guess randomly no.
Incorrect. You're losing your point.
Fair enough.
So,
next
okay.
one was, well, I guess.
So I'm next.
So
do I get to say yes or?
Here's the rule. Here's the rule. For therapeutic purposes, yes. For entertainment purposes, no. That is the rule by the church. So
I'd be interested to hear what Father Ripperger has to say on that.
Right.
When was that
He would be the most knowledgeable person.
I can only tell you what it says in the trivia game. I'm not making this one up on my own. If the trivia, the source is I'll tell you the source right now. This is the source. Catholic trivia knowledge. That's the source.
Nice.
So if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Is that Angelus Press or no?
I got my version of it from them, but I don't.
Angelus Press.
Nice.
Angelus Press. But that's not the only place I get questions from.
Thank
I
you,
have
Jim Vogel. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Ultimate Catholic Trivia, 1001 Facts. I also have 2 other books, and then sometimes I'll just remember things that like I'll read scripture and I'll just pull stuff out like randomly, and so okay.
I didn't even know Angelus Press did that.
Okay.
Well, now when this game show gets huge and you're making a ton of money on Patreon and everything, you can hire a Jamie, like a Catholic, kind of like what Matt Frad just did, right? Didn't he just do that? So you can get like the origin of.
Hey, speaking of Matt Frad, Steven, speaking of Matt Frad, we're coming for his title. Listen, somehow we let this guy from New Zealand come over to America and claim the title of King of Catholic Media. And I'm not happy about it.
I don't think that has anything to do with America necessarily.
Right. I'm pretty sure there's a number of high-profile Catholic commentators who fancy themselves that anyway.
But
yeah, who crowned him?
Yeah, I just don't like the idea. Look, I'm not going to go with Taylor Marshall or one of those guys. Those are my friends. I don't know Matt Frad from a hole in the wall, so him I'm going to go for.
No, my money's on Dale Alquist.
On Dale
He's
Alquist?
he's the quiet, unassuming guy running an empire behind his Chesterton magazine, or Gilbert magazine, and he had a show on EWTN that introduced Chesterton to a lot of people. You can find the clips of that on YouTube still, by the way.
So what does he do now?
He runs a school. He started at the Chesterton Academy with classical education, like high school, and still runs Gilbert magazine, which I have issues with back there.
I'm not saying he's actually the king. I'm just saying, I think Taylor's the only Catholic YouTuber with more subscribers than Matt Fradd. So
Does
No,
Taylor
there's a guy in Brazil who's got like nearly 1 million subscribers.
yes, that's true. That's true. He has more than Taylor. So I think Taylor's got 300 plus, and then Matt Fradd is like 200 something. And then I think
speaking of EWTN, until Raymond Arroyo has to go independent because he's too controversial.
He'll find a home on Fox News.
that's what he's gearing up
clearly
for that.
prepping him for that,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
For better, for worse.
So I just figured, I'm gonna go with I know. I'm Matt Fradd. I know.
Oh, that's worse than your normal accent.
Yeah, but why do they say no like that? They say no. I know.
I'm gonna tag him when I post this video.
I have no idea. I tell him every day, Matt Fradd, we're coming for your crown, Matt.
You love punching up. You really do.
All right. Wait, did I ask a question or are we still waiting here?
I think we're waiting on you to ask a
This is
question.
funny. I thought Forrest was. Well, Forrest is the king of something.
What, Anthony? I want to hear
Here
the
comes
answer
the
to
lawsuit,
that.
Anthony.
I'm gonna stop myself from being brought into the fray with him.
You're gonna get a cease and desist, buddy.
Yes, let's leave it alone.
I think we brought you on the channel for that, Joe.
Is this a private stream?
No.
All right, we'll go with the
I don't
next
know what
one.
you're talking about, Rob.
What famous American convert established the Catholic worker movement? This is such a Novus Ordo-y question. What famous American
The
convert?
Catholic worker movement is great.
All right. It's probably very communist these days.
Well,
now,
her
but its
cult
origins
is-
aren't bad.
her cult tends to be.
Tends to be very communist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
They,
think
they,
so.
they focus a lot more on her politics than her actual faith. Her faith is actually, if you read some of the things that she
Did you hit the button first? I'm just asking.
I think
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
did.
so okay. I just want to make sure before you're telling everybody that it's a woman. So go ahead, Darren.
So she's actually a Benedictine oblate as well. So again, we're within the Benedictine tradition. So Dorothy Day.
Yeah, there's a decent movie about her.
Co-founded with Peter Morin, by the way.
Wait, what was that?
Co-founded with Peter Morin. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah,
Played by Martin Sheen in the movie. Yeah.
That's not necessarily an endorsement. Sheen's an interesting public Catholic. James Morin, maybe. I don't know. I had to include them in my doctoral dissertation, but I can't.
And I forget the one of the big names that signed the Manifesto of the New Traditionalism. Flanders just had him on not too long ago. I know he's big into the Catholic worker movement. Man, tip of my tongue. Anyway, apparently, depending on who you talk to, Dorothy Day's politics is also, grossly misconstrued at times by, whoever it serves.
That's even like St. Joan of Arc.
Well,
Everybody
yeah,
claims
right.
St. Joan of Arc,
Mhm.
But no, Dorothy Day was actually very conservative. She was just,
There's a story of her like chastising a priest for trying to say mass without his full vestments, like just a stole, and like saying no, that's not how you do it.
Nice.
She used to. She would get money donated to her, and she would see who it came from, and if she thought they weren't legit, she would send it back. I really appreciated that about her.
So Schmoopy's saying she didn't know what the letters meant. So I don't know who Schmoopy is, but
We do have the absolute worst acronym ever.
you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm afraid to ask.
You guys got a lot of fans in here, man. I wish I had fans. Yeah, Greg's right. New Agers even claim St. Hildegard. Okay, let's move on.
She's listed among the so-called feminist saints.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there are
which is a stretch worthy of Stretch Armstrong.
It's because she wrote on medical issues that at the time only that were never written about.
Heaven forfend.
I want to know what Anthony wrote
in.
his dissertation on.
Hey, Darren, how many family call-outs are we up to tonight? How many drinks do we have?
Oh,
This is 100%
I haven't
true.
been keeping track this time.
Somebody asked me about my dissertation. Who?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
it
me.
was-
I was curious about what the subject matter
Oh,
was.
it's about what the church teaches on sustainable development, basically, using Catholic
Oh,
social
that's
teaching.
really interesting.
Well, the
that's
problem
really
is it's really, really modernist. Like I had a crisis halfway writing through it when I realized that my chair was a personal conscience Catholic who reminded me in my first draft that the church no longer rejects modernism. And I sat down with I asked a couple of pretty conservative priests about this. One who steered me clear early on of who's the libertarian Catholic priest who pushes essentially 1990s GOP economics. Who was that?
Sirico?
Yeah, I was
Sirico.
steered clear initially because they put out a book and they were like,
Yeah.
you want to avoid these guys, and they just told me write your dissertation in such a way that'll make your committee happy, get through it because
Right.
come this far, just get it done. And so and it was because if you want to know when someone asks, the meme that says what radicalized you, and a guy leans in and says you did.
Yeah.
What radicalized me was reading Laudato Si and then Rerum Novarum right afterwards, because it's so night and day.
Yeah,
You-
that
you-
kind of juxtaposition.
It's like different religions.
style
Yeah.
alone and brevity. Yeah,
I mean
that's really
the Leo the 13th solution to most things was get local, work with the church, get local, and Laudato Si solution is get global. That's night and day.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of other issues too. So.
Subsidiarity, big part.
interesting.
No, we're not getting into that. So there's suggestions of a liturgical dance-off for a show. That's not happening. All right.
You have to get Stephen Colbert to be a guest on, just because there's that infamous video of him
vaccine dance.
No. There's he's singing a psalm and dancing, doing a liturgical dance to it, and it's horrifying to watch as a trad, but at the same time, it's pretty funny. In a really kind
was it at the Al Frank dinner or something? Or
no, it looked like he was in his parish.
Al Smith.
Oh, Al Smith, yeah, Al Frank. Wow. All right, let's go to the next question. What Greek letters are used to represent Christ? What Greek letters are used to represent Christ?
Slow with the J again today.
You should just, as soon as I start reading it, throw it in there, Joe. You got to get on the board.
Pick another letter then, Joe.
Slow with the J.
Actually, I don't think I could actually name the specific letters. I could only read
I
it
could
out.
go with a B. I mean,
So this is actually there's probably two answers for this.
Yeah.
There's two answers for this.
I know the one I'm going to give, but it might be.
I know what I have, but I'm seeing a lot of people saying something different, and they're correct.
There's one that is like a mnemonic device.
All right. How about if I change? You guys all punch in already?
Yeah.
Who got it in?
Rob.
I did.
All right. What do you got, Rob?
So I'm going to go for the first two letters of Christ in Greek, which is Chi and Rho.
Okay, so that is a point. Now you get another point if you get the other one.
I don't know for sure the Greek names of the letters.
I don't either. I know what it spells out.
Is it is it iota something sigma?
I was looking at something totally different.
Ichthus.
Ichthus, yeah, Ichthus.
I was thinking the Book of the Apocalypse.
Alpha and Omega?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so there's three potential.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking Alpha and Omega. The Book of the
I was thinking
Apocalypse.
Ichthus.
We just got.
I was thinking of Jesus,
The fish?
Son of God.
See, this is the problem using a
Jake, this is
prepackaged
that's what I
show.
was thinking. That's where I was going.
Because I'm
A lot of
This just reminds me of that scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where he's about to spell the name of God and he starts by stepping on the J for Jehovah. And
Yeah.
he dies because he forgets that Greek is an entirely different alphabet.
Greek tricky. So I was going Alpha and Omega, but Cairo is definitely correct. So
I'm glad I didn't get that first. I would have lost a point.
but Rob, you got Alpha and Omega also. I'm giving you the 2.
I'll take it. I need it.
I'm in the chair of Peter. I get
Nice.
Oh. So that the answer to the Pope question then?
Submit to New York.
Okay, ready? Here's a good one. It's a Bible question. For you Catholics who don't read your Bible.
Is that allowed?
Which New
I just had
Testament-
lunch with a Calvinist. I'm ready.
Which New Testament book gives us the name Antichrist? I was picturing him as a guy with sunglasses. He posted on his video. So Anthony Stine just recently started putting his face on his videos, Joe.
About
So
6
if you
weeks ago. I've been doing it for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, what made you change, Ant?
Well, I've lost a whole lot of weight in the last year and a half, and just figured it was time. I've been meaning to do it for a while.
My sister Michelle has the correct answer. A lot of people think it's something that it's not. So, who got it on your end?
I put it in first. Now I'm wondering if I got it right.
What do you
Take
got,
it
Darren?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Revelations.
You're incorrect.
It's not
You're
even named
incorrect.
before.
You're losing a point. So Darren's down to 3.
It's like
Darren's
our only
out of 3.
chances for Darren
Rob's
to start
got
getting
2.
stuff wrong.
Joe B's got 1. So
Well, Joe's up.
does anybody else have it? Did anybody else click in?
I could steal, I guess.
You can steal.
So I was gonna say apocalypse, but
No.
that's not it. Antichrist, not antichrists.
The Antichrist. The term
clear this
Antichrist or
question up?
Antichrist, that phrase, Antichrist, comes from one very specific book. It's not in the book of the Apocalypse.
Can I buzz in?
Absolutely, if they don't have it. So let's see.
I'm gonna just.
Okay, so the first. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Romans. I don't know.
Incorrect. All right, Matt, what do you
I
got?
just said Romans.
First-
I don't think that's it, but
It's not Romans.
1 John
1 John is correct.
chapter 2.
1 John is correct. Children, there are many antichrists about you now.
Well, I knew John wrote it.
Well, that's why most people think most people think Antichrist comes from the book of Revelation or Apocalypse, and it doesn't. So
Right.
my sister Michelle is the first one in there with the correct answer. Jeff, you got it wrong, man. Haley got it right. A lot of incorrect. So Brandon got it. 1 John. All right. Yeah. That was a good question. I tricked you guys up
It
with
was.
that one. My sister
got that
loves
right?
New Testament questions. So okay. We're gonna do a show of just Bible trivia one day, I think. Yeah, no, Trump didn't come up with the term. Okay. What is the current maximum number of cardinals allowed to vote in a conclave?
What is it that? Never mind.
Jeff, you won last episode. How many wins you gotta get?
That one?
Yes, Michelle, we'll do a Bible trivia episode one day.
Let's see here.
I don't think Pope Francis has changed it.
He
So-
hasn't. No, he has more cardinals in than can actually vote.
Well,
That'll be fun at the next conclave.
Well, a lot of them are
yeah, it doesn't bode well.
like they're
Oh,
not
they're over
too
80.
old to vote, you know. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, like that. You can't really count the number of cardinals who are cardinals. You have to count the ones who are actually able to vote,
The cardinal elect.
because usually there's more cardinals than there are cardinal electors that are able to
Right.
vote.
there's maybe 3.
Haley. So is the only limitation the age limit?
No, well,
There are two major
so
limitations.
Pope John Paul, it was Pope John Paul II or Pope Paul VI? Pope Paul VI, I believe, set the law that only this many cardinals
Yes.
can vote, right, Matt?
Oh, it's like a
Oh, the current-
specific number.
The document that governs this currently is the Apostolic Constitution Universi Dominici Gregis, which was published in 1988, I believe.
Yeah, it's Pope John Paul II.
So yeah,
But
Heck
I
of a
think
year.
Pope Paul VI set it at one number, and then John Paul II changed. So it
That's
can be
that is how it happened. It had at one point been very low.
very low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Paul
And then
II increased it substantially, I believe. I don't
Substantially.
remember the number though.
So Francis could change it, but at the moment he hasn't.
Yeah.
So we have plenty of correct answers. Which one do you guys had it?
I got it.
There.
Yeah.
The answer is 120.
It is 120.
Wow.
Okay.
Now,
All right, well-
I think there were 117. I think either Benedict's or Francis's election that were eligible, but not all of them could make it to the conclave by the time it began.
Francis is responsible for 60% of them, I think, at this point.
What was it increased from? 70?
Oh, like
Like
70.
80 or
Yeah.
something like that.
70.
Yeah.
And it was even
76,
lower
80.
than that in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 30 or 40 originally.
And there
Is
was a pope in the Middle Ages who famously issued a document that tried to link anathemas to increasing that number too. Most scholars don't think that's binding, but fun little fact of history.
Okay. We'll move on. What is the term we use for a cardinal in a conclave eligible to become the pope? So when a pope, a cardinal walks into the conclave and he's considered eligible, what is the term we use for that?
Oh yeah.
Is this more like a media term?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Because I don't know that there's an official church term for this.
I don't know.
It's more
Probably
of
not.
a-
This is,
I think
they'll
it's more
say
of
it
a
all the
pop
time. Say,
culture.
This
Strictly
cardinal
speaking,
is
every man in the church over a certain age without young children is considered eligible.
Baptized, yeah.
Haley says doomed. I got one, two. I got plenty of correct answers. What you guys got?
Joe.
Yours truly, my friend, Papa Bile.
That is correct, Joe. All right. Papabile. So I got Brandon, Jake. Brandon and Jake, the only ones I'm seeing. I got a lot of incorrect answers. Elector, eligible. Those are incorrect. So Brandon and Jake. Okay, moving on. All right, here we go. This one, I think you guys are all going to know this, but this is a good question. What is the Latin term that was added to the Nicene Creed that is the subject of great controversy between East and West? The Latin term that was added to the Nicene Creed that is controversial between East and West. Let's see. I got one answer in the chat, correct? Let's see. Yep. All right. We got the chat. Who hit it?
Looks like Joe again.
Go again.
We got Joe.
Filioque.
Joe B coming back from a far behind.
Yes, sir.
He's catching up. We got a tie between Darren and Joe. Rob, a distant third, and Steven, not even on the board yet, Steven.
That's surprising to me.
Steven, I thought you were going to slay on this show, boy. All right, so, but it's not that you don't know them. It's that you're not getting in there quick enough.
It's
So
not
we
the
got
questions. It's you got to adjust to hitting enter at the right time.
There's
the last time it's hard.
Yeah, there's two that were on the tip of my tongue. Lectio Divina and I think Miter were like, oh my gosh, I know this. What is it?
my brother Joe. He says I actually knew this one.
And then they're hitting the enter before you're even done answering the question. I'm like, should be rules about that or something.
J-Bone Philly something.
I'll release my own document.
You watched the King of Catholic Media episode about it?
Matt Fred.
He's the king of Catholic media. He's like, look, I look at it like he's like the Howard Stern of Catholicism. We got to take this guy down.
Ooh.
No, it turns out
That's
he's
harsh.
Catholic Joe Rogan.
No, like I never had really watched any of Frad, particularly recently. I'm trying to remember who he had on most recently.
The priest from Ukraine, who talked about Archbishop Vigano.
I'm surprised there wasn't more, and maybe there was and I missed it, that there wasn't more like direct responses to that.
I thought he completely distorted what Vigano was saying.
Right. And yeah, anyway. I'm trying to be charitable, but the recent episode Matt Fratt had with
Father Murray.
Yes, thank you, Father Murray, and this is exactly what I'm dealing with the game show right now. Journalist gal Diane Montagna about the book. I watched that. It was excellent. Like, he did a great job. He's a great interviewer. And the setup's great. I don't know. I've never really.
I actually really
paid attention to him when he was back. Like, I mean, probably close to a decade ago now. When he was like big with the Covenant Eye stuff, and then he kind of disappeared for a minute. I feel like, and then came back on the scene.
I actually really do enjoy his show. He's I like
great.
the style, the way he does it. I just like picking on him because he's
he
way out of my
show yet.
He's way out of my league, and he's never gonna come on my show. So I figure what's the difference?
You got to catch his attention somehow, man.
Yeah. So I just thought of
shoot your shot
with him. All right. So what is the name? What is the name of the ring worn by the Pope containing his name? Pope wears a ring, has his name on it. What do they call that ring? I bet Matt Gaspers knows the answer to every one of these.
Not everyone. Like, I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if there's like a technical term or.
No, I'm not 100% either.
I know the common word, but
yeah.
And I got a lot of people got it in the chat. So what do you got? Who hit it?
Darren did.
Gonna try with like a St. Peter's ring or like the fisherman's ring.
Which one? I can't say two. Which one? Is it St. Peter's ring or is it the fisherman's ring? You got to pick one.
I think it's.
Wait. I see a really funny line in here. Hang on. Alex, that's funny.
I'm gonna say it's the fisherman's ring.
It is the fisherman's ring. So yeah, Greg said the ring of power, but it's the fisherman's ring. So Brandon, Jeff was the first one I saw. So I see.
So you remember a couple of years ago when the video footage of Francis like pulling his hand away, he wouldn't let him kiss.
That was actually really creepy, that video.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on. Let's see. You got that right, Darren?
Yeah.
5. Okay. So we got Darren 5, Rob 2, Joe 4. Okay. What is the proper term to address a bishop? Proper term to address a bishop.
I'm going to start leaving my letter in the queue.
Spoken or written, Anthony?
Yeah, spoken or written.
Huh?
Spoken or written?
I don't know. There's a difference?
There is. I'm assuming you're looking for spoken.
Yeah.
Like
when you're addressing him. You're addressing him in person.
I'm assuming he's going to be looking for spoken.
Yeah.
So it's not "Hey you," right?
Nah. It's yo.
Bruh.
Joey, you have it incorrect, but I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, who got it?
Rob.
Spoken would be Your Excellency. Written is the most reverend.
So, Rob, you got the point. I was looking for Your Excellency.
Now, I've noticed that some people have the habit, I don't know if it's after the bishop is retired, but they also use the term Your Grace. I don't know if
that would have been acceptable also, Your Grace. Yeah.
Okay.
Your Grace. So the next one's pretty simple. It's basically the same question. So if you guys want to have your fingers ready to go, what is the proper term to use to address a cardinal?
Rob just threw it in there. Before you even asked the question, you should have just.
So Joey, and everybody's gonna know this one, but Joey, you have the answer to this one. My brother Joey, he answered the answer to this one. So, all right, who got it?
You're confusing me with that, Ant.
Rob,
I did. I don't know the written one for this one, but spoken would be Your Eminence.
Your Eminence is correct.
Yes.
I think I've seen letters signed by Cardinal Supich signed as the most reverend Cardinal Supich. So
I suppose they really are still just bishops.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I suppose not all of them. Not every cardinal is a bishop.
That's true.
Well,
Okay.
but most
Yeah,
cardinals that aren't if they aren't a bishop, they generally are above voting age, and it's given as a honorary title. Like Cardinal Dulles was over the age of 80 by the time he was made cardinal.
So the Your Grace title is specifically tied to an emeritus?
I don't know that for certain, but I've noticed somewhat of a pattern with that.
I'll tell you, in the Middle Ages, they would call all bishops Your Grace.
Well, I wonder if it's more of an English heritage sort of thing.
That's possible.
So what we like Papa Ratzinger, right? Like most graceful.
He's an interesting case, isn't he?
He is going to
Joey.
he's going to be a
You
case
just call
that
him Joey.
the future hierarchy will be dealing with.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jeff
Absolutely.
says that Your Grace is the title for bishops outside of the U.S.
Okay.
Oof.
No, Chrissy, we'll give them away tonight. So my sister gave me a set of handmade rosary beads that we will give away tonight. Mrs. C says that's mostly British. So, wait, where did I go? Policy is to try to enter correct first, but if I see others who get it first, I'll go. Oh, okay. I don't know what that was. Okay. All right. So those are pretty easy. Those two. The papal court is also known as what? These are pretty easy. I went pretty easy on you guys, but they do get harder as we go.
While we're waiting, Rob, BWCA, what does that stand for in your handle?
Well, I live in Ely, so
You do? Okay.
Yeah. Boundary Waters Canoe Area.
Got it. That's
who
what I
doesn't know.
figured. I didn't want to.
What does it stand? What does it stand for?
Boundary Waters Canoe Area.
What is that?
It's like the nation's largest wilderness area. It's right here in northern Minnesota, a few miles away. It's there's no roads. You just canoe in, carry your canoe over portages to get to other lakes, go camping. Gets more visitors every year than the Disney World, actually.
That's
Good. I'm sure they're still grooming in the canoe area. So
Okay, so I got correct answers in the chat. Anybody got it?
Gaspers does.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the Roman Curia.
That's correct.
Okay.
Roman Curia.
In some of these, I'm like, duh.
Yeah, they're pretty
Like, I
obvious.
didn't know
But...
them, I'm like,
So, Stephen, you go to All Saints then?
I do.
Awesome.
I do. Yeah. I'm actually in the process of trying to get a group of boys together to go up to the Boundary Waters Canoe Area because I've never done that yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've only camped with the Army, and I feel like camping outside of the Army
A
is a
little
lot
different.
more fun.
Yeah, I would say it's more fun.
A lot more fun.
A lot more fun.
I mean, you got to pay for your equipment, but other than that, I feel like it's great, comparatively speaking. But nonetheless.
How far apart do you guys live?
4 hours.
Oh, okay. But you're driving distance. That's not bad.
it's not like me and you, Anthony.
No, like me and you, I could take a Uber to your house.
Does 65 end in Ely?
65?
Yeah, does 65
A
go through
highway?
Ely? Yeah.
No, not anywhere close.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid, Chrissy. Well, so Chrissy said that if I went and because she's in Wisconsin, said if I came and visited her, I could have came and visited Rob. But
it does.
You have
depend
family
what
in
part of-
Wisconsin?
well, no, my sister's away on retreat for like 9 months. She's with Spiritus. But the problem is when I saw Tim Gordon and Taylor Marshall meet up, their friendship ended like 2 weeks after that. So I'm afraid to meet Rob in person. I don't want to go out like TNT, you know.
We should do a men's retreat in the BWCA and get a priest so we don't have to worry about like mass and stuff.
You need to get a priest.
You need a priest.
Don't go local here.
Yeah. Yes.
I tend to drive to Duluth for mass.
St. Benedict's.
Yep.
Great parish.
All right, more local Minnesota talk, guys. Awesome. sure everybody around the country.
We got to compete with the New York stuff. You know?
I'm sorry that everyone in the world is in New York.
Well, if you're in Minnesota, then you're in Michael Matt's neighborhood.
Yep.
Yep.
He actually goes to my childhood parish. I saw him there for Christmas one
Paul's?
year.
St. Aug's?
Nice.
Yeah, St. Augustine's. Yeah.
Love it. Haley's
All
close
right.
to Minneapolis too, but she's
I'm cutting
on the
I'm cutting
wrong
this
side of the
local
tracks.
banter off, guys. You guys gotta be kidding
Now
me.
you know how
There's
we
three
feel.
people in the audience who know the references you guys are making right now.
New York lore is better than Minneapolis, Minnesota lore.
Because if you say
No
the Empire
doubt.
State Building, the whole country knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the
People
whole
actually,
country's sick of it too.
It's like you know that tree behind the bend over in Minnesota. Like, all right, a promise willingly made to do something pleasing to God is called what? A promise willingly made to do something pleasing to God. I agree, Joey. That's basically, I think it is. And
In its own way,
even the
yeah.
people who live here don't like it, Mrs. C. New York is-
if you go on 1 Peter 5, I wrote an article about New York. If you want to go read it,
is
click on
Nene O my sister Janine?
Hey, all I'm saying, Anthony, Joe, you guys don't have to blame your problems on us. Okay. You know,
No, but it's nice to have I could just blame where I'm from for everything that goes wrong in my life.
we're not far. Yeah, we're not far from you on that.
It's
actually.
what I've been doing for 30 years.
At least at the state level.
It's been working.
No, I'm ragging you guys, but I don't know. Oh,
Come on up.
I thought this was my sister. It's not. Okay.
How many drinks do we have to do for a failed family reference?
They make fun of me because I like this family. But listen, all I could do is talk about what I know, and I have a big family, so I talk about my family. All right, so anybody got the answer? I got plenty in the chat.
It looks like Joe
Joe.
was first.
I bet
You got Joe.
my friend. The question was a promise to do
Promise
something good for
willingly
God
made
is
to do something pleasing to God.
a vow.
Yes.
That almost seemed too easy. I was like, I don't know what the heck. he's
Yeah,
looking
I was
for.
wondering if it was vow or profession. They were both on the top of my head.
It's so
Or
it was
evangelical council, like
Yeah.
last episode?
Like I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, shoot, which one of those 21 is he talking about?
So
Yeah,
now
she is absolutely right.
so she's saying Minnesota nice is passive aggressive. I prefer New York because I will tell you to your face what I think. I don't do passive aggressive. I just
Passive
say it.
aggressive is the worst. It is.
not really
I'm
the
from
not a thing
Portland,
as much
Oregon,
here.
man. I'm from Portland, Oregon originally, and that is the land of passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Unless the
Yeah,
guys
it's all
weren't,
fake.
unless the guy's wearing a mask and is decked out in black, hurling Molotov cocktails. And I recognize some people from some of those riots from classes I took at my
That's
university.
wild.
Oof.
That is wild.
No, you want to know? One of the last things that happened to me in Portland was watching an InfoWars video where it was Alex Jones's people were interviewing people at a riot in downtown Portland before the big riots, and his people were the reasonable ones compared to the people he was interviewing. It was at that point I was sitting in a dorm room in Portland watching this, going, I got to get out of this place. This is not good.
Well, what happens in Portland typically starts happening in Minneapolis within 4 weeks.
Portlanders export the worst ideas to the rest of the country. Usually, though, Portland gets its worst ideas either from Seattle or San Francisco.
Yeah.
David was direct. That's how he beat Goliath. All right. Who is the patron saint of Catholic schools? Patron saint of Catholic schools. Patron saint of Catholic schools. This is an easy one too. I picked a lot of easy questions tonight because
Now, I
go
think
ahead.
there's a specific patron saint for American Catholic schools.
That's who I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
That's who I have in mind. So if it's not that,
Well, maybe you should just wait for him to finish the question before you put in your initial.
it takes too long.
so maybe it is all right, so yeah, wait, maybe Ariana's right. There's too many of my siblings in here. Okay. All right. So I'm getting a lot of different answers than I have. So maybe you guys are right. So let's see. Who hit it?
I did.
Rob
What
went
do you
first.
got, Rob?
Rob.
St. Elizabeth Ann Seton.
That's not what I got.
I was gonna guess Cardinal Newman.
No, you're both wrong.
Really?
So it got to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yep. You're right, Joe. So I'm taking a point away from the other two.
Oh man.
So Joe is now at 6, Rob is at 3, and Darren's at 4. And Joe B takes the lead. My
So-
brother Joey's
Yes,
winning
sir.
$50 tonight, boy.
So which
I
one's
thought
the
you-
American one? Is it
So
St. Catherine
not
Drexel?
one. I'm getting a lot of John Bosco. So
No.
Yeah, I've heard
think he
him
would-
too, actually.
Catholic youth, I think, not specifically.
Yeah.
schools.
Speaking of
Yeah.
New Yorkers, we have St. Elizabeth Seton too. She is ours.
I
Yeah.
was going with Catherine Drexel, but
Yeah, that's so. Is she the American? Like,
she might be the American.
yeah.
She's
I'm getting.
Saint Scholastica occurred to me too.
So, yeah, I mean, it's Wikipedia, so say what you will, but Wikipedia does have Elizabeth Ann Seton listed
Pam,
as
we
patron of
Pam,
Catholic
we do
schools.
this. Rob, who's Pam?
I'm guessing a family member.
Pam
You're guessing?
Dremel?
Well,
Pam,
from
we
the
do
last
this twice a
name.
week. Pam, we do it on Wednesdays and Fridays. Friday nights are usually a little more fun because nobody has work the next day and we get to hang and drink a little. Teresa, you're going to love the next one then. So Pam's watching on Facebook and she's able to comment from Facebook. I didn't know you guys were able to do that.
Oh,
So
cool.
Pam is Gary's daughter, Rob.
Okay.
Okay.
The next
Mhm.
step in Telegram just released this capability, and I think it's
That
still.
you could broadcast from Telegram.
Yeah, I think it's still.
No
they're
way. That's
still,
cool. I like that.
I think they're still working out kinks because New York guys, do you guys know who Quite Frankly is?
Yeah, of course. That's just
Yeah.
Joe's
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Joe
Oh,
B's like
okay.
No,
close friends with him.
I don't know. Quite frankly, Tim Gordon does.
Oh, Tim Gordon knows quite
Yeah.
frankly. You know Sean
yeah.
Ferresh.
So he's supposed
Okay.
to. Yeah, Sean's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
But so Frank was the first one that I saw do the Telegram, but he had to stop it because it was messing up his stream for the rest of his platforms. I told Paleocrat, and he was like, "Oh man, this is great," and then he only tried it a couple times. So I think they got to work out some kinks.
Oh,
but
wait a minute.
eventually-
Okay, I messed up. So St. Thomas Aquinas is the patron saint of Catholic schools.
What was
Yeah.
your question?
According
That
to the
was it.
trivia show. According to the trivia show.
He's the patron saint of
trivia game, I
Catholic
mean.
education, I think.
Right. That's what I thought the question was. Catholic education, and that's
He said Catholic schools, I thought.
All right, so the trivia game stinks. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm still deducting your points. I'm giving Joe the points. He's my friend, and I want
New
him
York
to win.
bias.
And you two both
No
already
love.
won, and I want to
No
see
love
Joe win
twice.
tonight. All right, so who was the
I
first?
did so bad last time.
Yeah, you did terrible. I was so sad for you.
I don't
actually
feel
felt
bad now.
Me and you
That's
talked afterward. I was like, Joe, it's all right. Don't worry, Steven, next week I'll help you. I'll cheat and help you win.
I had to beat you
all right.
tonight.
I'm just gonna start putting my initial in before you even start asking the question.
Who was the first native U.S. citizen to be beatified? Jacob.
So I might actually get this wrong because you said beatified, not canonized.
Listen. I'm going by trivia games. This is. I don't know. I hope the trivia games got it right.
No, I know.
So-
I know the first Native American to be canonized.
Not
I
Native
don't know-
American. Native U.S. citizen.
Yeah, right. Native U.S. citizen.
So it's not the. I know who you're thinking, and look at who we got. We got another visitor. So Jason is on the Tradmen podcast. He just started this podcast with his friend Mark, and they've gotten Trent Horn, Dr. Kwasniewski. They're getting better guests than I get. And no offense to Matt and Anthony. I'm not trying to knock you guys, but I wouldn't even dream of asking.
I would
Peter
leave
Kwasniewski
right
yet.
now if I was Anthony Stine.
Just drop off.
But listen, they have such a highbrow podcast. It's like they talk about like real things, and we're over here making, stupid jokes about each other. So it's like, but I
Playing
wanted to
Johnny Depp's poop video.
yeah, we were talking about Amber Heard pooping in Johnny Depp's bed. So, but I asked Jason to come on because Jason is hysterical, man. He's one of my favorite followers on Twitter, and I saw him very like professionally in his podcast, and I'm like, I want to see you loosen up a little bit, dude. So come on the show with us. So I'm not going to keep track of his score because he came in late, but he could definitely participate if he wants to.
Well, just interesting fact. The East Coast is 3 hours ahead of the West Coast.
Where are you from?
No, I mean, I'm from Texas, but I'm in California right now, and I forgot that you guys were 3 hours ahead.
I was gonna say you're definitely in a hotel.
Now
room
I do
right now, bro.
have to give Matt and Anthony the option. Do you guys want to stay longer? Because I would love for you guys to stay.
Oh, I can stay. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right, good. How about you,
I
Eddie?
I can hang out a while longer.
You just tell if you guys got to go. You just tell me. But I would love it if you guys. I mean, I'm having a great time, so it's a fun show. So okay, so the question was, who was the first native U.S. citizen to be beatified? I have plenty of correct answers in the chat. What do you guys got? Who hit it? Done. Oh my god, I love Don.
I believe it was Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton who was the first to be canonized, but you asked beatified, so I don't know.
That's the answer. You got it. All right, so Darren's back up. He's just a little behind Joe. So Jason, is there anything you wanted to say other than the intro I gave you?
No, nothing really. I'll just jump in with you guys and carry on.
Yeah, so Jason, I'm going to have Jason and his podcast partner Mark on next weekend, but I figured come and hang. Guys, while we got this many people in the chat, everybody hit like. It's very simple. Just click that like button and share the video, whatever you guys can do. We want to grow this thing.
Yeah, if you want to help them grow their channel, actually participate in the chat and like the video. It actually does help them.
It does. So tomorrow, Tim Flanders asked me to come on his channel, which I was thrilled about because I think if I go on some other people's channels and promote it a little, that's when I'll start to pick up a little bit. But I think we're having fun over here, so hopefully this grows a little bit. All right. So who is the founder of Christian monasticism? Who is the founder of Christian monasticism? Jason, my sister says she likes your accent. we're from New York, so we love a southern accent.
God bless the Republic, right, Jason?
Mrs. C, you brought us. Mrs. C brought us new viewers last time she shared, so I appreciate that very much. All right, so who is the founder of Christian monasticism? And I'm getting a lot of incorrect answers in the chat. Oh, I got a correct one.
Well, you did say Christian monasticism. You didn't specify Eastern or Western.
Yeah,
I'm not going to specify. I'm going to say Christian monasticism. I think this is Eastern.
Well, now you just gave it away.
Not that it matters because I didn't click enter fast enough, but now you got me all messed up.
Oh, so Jason, if you want to participate and play, switch yourself over to private chat. And
yeah. I switch over. I mean, you didn't have to call me out. I just didn't know the answer.
No. All right, so I got plenty of correct answers. Who hit it?
Rob.
I did.
Go ahead, Rob.
St. Anthony the Great.
It is St. Anthony the Abbot. Correct. So I got St. Anthony. Brandon's got it. So a lot of people said St. Benedict, and I guess that would be the West, right?
West. And St.
Yes.
Basil is kind of sometimes known as the father of Eastern monasticism as well.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess. St. Basil the Great.
St. Anthony of the Desert. So we just did. So during Lent, I did a group with a bunch of guys, the Fellowship of St. Anthony, where we read the life of St. Anthony. And it was such an amazing book. My cousin gave it to me, another family reference.
The one written by St. Athanasius?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. And it just makes you realize how little you're willing to suffer, man. Like, really, really unwilling to suffer.
He lived to 105.
Yeah. Eating like once a day. Eating like a
Bugs.
piece of bread a day. Wild. Okay, so what is the short formulaic prayer mainly said in the Eastern Church? Short formulaic prayer mainly said in the Eastern Church. Joey, I'll give it to you. It's just called Saint Anthony of the Desert. Yes. Who's Cruz? Do I know you? I must know you, right?
This is what happens when you grow, Anthony. You don't know people, and
No, but that's gotta be a family member or someone. I don't know. I got such a big family, you never know. Cruise. Haley's right, but I'm looking for the name of it. So Nini's got it. Brandon's got it. Teresa, monasticism is like a monk in a monastery. That's where we get the word monastery from. So the original monasteries were actually just guys who would go out into the desert and pray.
Live in communion with each other. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so oh no, we don't know each other. Okay. Oh, that's not what I meant to. I meant to that. Yes, yeah. I did a Daniel fast for Lent, and it was brutal.
Oh,
Lost like 30 pounds in 40 days, man. It was crazy.
So that's like
really,
only vegetables, right?
only fruit and vegetables.
Basically a vegan diet.
A vegan diet, worse than vegan because I gave up bread, cheese, eggs, dairy, everything. Like it's vegan, but I also gave up bread.
Vegan.
No, but I gave up bread. You can have bread as a vegan.
Yeah, true.
All
So
right,
how do you get
Cruz
any
is loud,
protein doing that?
You don't.
chickpeas,
Spinach.
chickpeas and nuts, walnuts.
And a lot of that
Oh,
protein is not
love to.
bioavailable either. Your body's not going to do much with a lot of that.
Yeah.
God bless your wife.
See,
Anthony.
is that a comment at me? Not quite 20. I gained about 8 back. I know my face is looking a little chubby, but I gained about 8 pounds of the 30 back. All right. So, what is the formulaic prayer? Who hit it?
Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
You need the name of the prayer or the prayer itself?
Yeah. No, you don't have to say the words. The name of the prayer.
Oh, the Jesus prayer.
Correct. Jesus prayer. Joe's tearing away with 7. Darren 5, Rob 4, Joe 7, Stephen yet to get on the board. We won't say it out loud.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Okay. All right. So this one's similar to one of the other questions. Invoking God as your witness to the truth you assert is also called what? Invoking God as your witness to the truth you are asserting is also called what? Joe is from West Islip, Joey. Islip or West Islip?
West Islip.
West Islip.
Yeah.
It's the Jesus prayer, Mrs. C. Michelle, you are very close. Very close, Michelle. I mean, I'd almost accept that. But it's not quite. All right, we got answers. Who hit it?
It looks like Rob.
All right, Rob.
That would be an oath.
That is an oath. So my sister said swearing an oath would be, really what you're saying. So it's very close. Swearing an oath we got. J-Bone said swearing too, though. So Joe, you will be invited to the next party. Absolutely.
When
Shelby
is it?
got it.
I'm there for it.
I don't know. Dude, anytime my family gets together, it's basically a party. There's so many of us. There's so many of us that it has to be. It's like you can't really do anything with my family unless
Yeah, y'all can pretend I'm Italian, right?
yeah, you'll fit right. Boca? They'll think you're one of the cousins. All right. What does the term ex cathedra mean? I want the actual translation of what the
Rob
term
quick with his finger there.
ex cathedra.
Y'all are crazy, man.
Pam wants to be invited too. Jake, gonna go pray the rosary with the family. Add the intentions here and prayers. Continued success of the ministries. Podcast president. God bless all. Jake, it was nice talking to you and seeing you again, buddy. We'll have you back on soon.
Take it easy, Jake.
All right, I got correct answers in the chat. Who hit it?
Rob.
Go ahead, Rob.
From the chair.
That is exactly what it means. From the chair.
Dropping the third.
Okay.
I almost screwed up and said seat.
I would have not accepted it.
I was gonna
I know
say.
you would've
I was gonna say.
well.
I would have not accepted it just because.
Just because it's me.
This is you.
You sound so disappointed every time you hear I was the one that put my name in first.
Okay, this is what I think you guys are gonna have a hard time with. A superior appointed to have authority within a certain province is called what? Ooh, J-Bone close, but no, man. You'd have to say from the chair. Matt, next time you come on, you got to bring questions.
Will do.
I'm going to have you come on. You're going to come stack of questions. You can go back and forth with me because I have a feeling you would have came up with better questions than me. These are all pretty simple.
He will yell at you, though, if they're hard questions.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good day to have you and Stine on because last week Anthony Stine was reading from your articles.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, so
From
I was like,
my
oh,
interview.
let me get my two news guys. You guys are my go-to sources for Catholic news. You know.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Thanks.
all right, I got. Ooh, J-Bone's close. Brandon's close. Don's got it. All right, I got a correct answer. Anybody got it?
Like Rob.
Can you repeat the question just one more time?
Yeah, so a superior appointed to have authority within a certain province is called what?
All right.
I might get this wrong, but the ordinary?
No. You know what? I almost don't like this question because this came from the trivia game, but I'm seeing a lot of people saying ordinary in the chat.
I have an idea.
Yeah, Trevor's in. We got a dude. We can't fit another person in if we wanted to. So, Matt, you know Trevor from Tridentine Brewing?
Not personally. Good to meet you.
Hey, good
All
to
right.
meet you too, Matt.
Jason, you've met Trevor, right?
Yeah, online we've met. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, we've
everybody,
done a
this is-
show with him.
You guys did do a show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a show.
I thought so. Okay. All right. So the last question was this is a weird one. Like I didn't like it when I saw it.
I have an idea what the answer to it is, actually.
Go ahead. What do you got?
The provincial.
It is the provincial. It was so, and I said province, thinking it would give it away.
So I was going to say Superior General.
We look like the
General
Brady
Superior.
Bunch. I think Don hit that one first. Yeah, look, everybody's actually saying. They're saying we look like the Brady Bunch.
But we all have to look to the center panel. We all have to pull that
A
up.
lot of people said ordinary, Rob. So I'm not going to take a point away from you because I'm weird and I don't follow any kind of. And I have no principle in this
Provincial
game.
would be the ordinary still, right?
Yeah, I have no. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm giving Stine.
Isn't an
8
ordinary
points.
tied to a diocese?
That would be a
specifically?
specific to a bishop. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
All right, so Anthony Stine's in the lead now with 8 points. All right.
So do you know what Roman emperor we stole a lot of that from?
No.
Diocletian.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
sure he'd be thrilled.
Yeah. But that's where we get dioceses from and everything like that is from Diocletian.
So if a lot, that's why I love when like certain Christians will accuse the Catholics of having like Roman thing. They're like, you have pagan, like you guys don't understand. Our liturgy is modeled off of pagan liturgy. It really is. Like we take so much from Rome and from other cultures. Like true enculturation does that. Like a true enculturation will christen a thing. So our church is modeled after the Roman Empire. You have the Roman emperor in Rome as the Pope, and then you have command posts and outposts with every bishop around the world, just like the Roman Empire had their governors all around the world. We modeled the church after the Roman Empire.
The pontifex is actually the Roman word for the high priest of Rome.
Did you ever read Tim Flanders' book, the recent book he had? And he does a whole thing on the Pontifex Maximus, that whenever so you have this problem a lot in the East. Whenever you have like what would you call it? Like an emperor trying to claim the role of Pontifex Maximus for himself, he's trying to claim the role of a priest for himself also. And that role is specifically reserved for a bishop or the Pope. Only a bishop or the Pope can be a Pontifex Maximus. He is the priest and king of his area. So anytime you have a lay leader claiming that role, that's why the Eastern Church is very, you could never really have union with East and West because they're too nationalized with their churches, you know.
Well, I mean, but it was a specific role in the old Rome. Like Julius
Yeah.
Caesar was a
Pontifex Maximus,
Maximus before he went to Gaul and
Mhm.
and did all his exploits.
Yeah, because Julius Caesar was also the son of God. Like he was the son of a god. So there was two gospels competing for each other. Right? So you have the gospel of Rome, which is the Son of God has brought peace to the earth, but the way he did it was through crucifixion and force and murder. And then you have Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the true Son of God, coming through peace and love. And that's how the new empire is established.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of crazy prophecies that were going around that time too, about how there would be a major king rising from the east.
J-Bone, this was actually a question on episode 2. I asked, what does the name Barabbas means? And it means son of the Father.
Barabbas.
We only have a couple of questions left, guys. We're coming. So this one's funny. I thought this one was really interesting. If a Catholic is killed in a duel, can he receive a Catholic burial? If a Catholic is killed in a duel, can he receive a Catholic burial? All right. I got a lot of answers in the chat. Who hit it?
Joe.
What you got, Joe?
Going no on that one.
A Catholic cannot receive a Catholic burial if he is killed in a duel. That's a weird one, right?
What year was that declared?
That was I think that was a 17th or 18th century thing. At the height of
Yeah, I
dueling.
was going to say.
Yeah, there's a papal prohibition on that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Because it's risking life or limb without due cause. I would suppose.
For vanity's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now this is what I'm asking now is my most important question of the night. Not that it's important, but it requires a lot of thought. You should all know it, but it's not easy. What are the 3 different types of love? There are 3 different types of love, and I want the Greek word and the English translation.
Oh, geez.
It's really listen. Everybody should know this. So when Jesus goes to Peter and he says, "Peter, do you love me?" He says a different word. I don't know if it's each time. He might say the same word twice, and then the last time it's a different word. J-Bone's got one of them.
So, Anthony, I got a question for you.
Mhm.
If I am on one of my naps while my wife is driving and I die in a wreck, do I get a Catholic burial too, or
No, it's suicide. If your wife is driving and you take a nap, it's a suicide. You don't get a Catholic burial. What are you doing letting your wife behind the wheel?
And by the way, she's on here.
Yo, you said this was a private stream, right?
Listen, my wife is only allowed to drive if I'm intoxicated and she's sober. That's the only time I will let her drive, okay?
Anthony, I guess I could phrase the question a bit differently and say, would you get a Catholic burial if your wife crashed through the garage and you were doing something in the garage?
Yeah, that I might get one. But to actually take a nap while your wife is behind the wheel, that is suicide, my friend. I'm sorry. There's no way you get a Catholic burial in that situation.
I don't think I've ever thought about women driving as much as since I've come across you on Twitter.
Well, listen, I've had a lot of close calls with my wife behind the wheel, okay? If I took you on a little tour outside and showed you my car, you'd see love taps all around my wife's car.
Hey, you know, a quick story. I went out years ago. I went out to our garage and I noticed on the right rear fender, there was like a dent and some white paint scraped across it. And I come back inside and I asked my wife, I said, "Somebody hit your car. Did you know that?" She goes, "Really? Where?" So she follows me outside. I go, "Right here." She goes, "Oh, that one. Yeah, I did that one." And
Dude, if you want to watch the funniest bit on women getting a dent, it's Sebastian Maniscalco. He does a whole bit about how his wife like hits the light column in his driveway. And she's like, it's just you could probably buff it out with some carnauba wax, don't worry about it. And he's like, he goes outside, it's like $9,000 in damage. He's like, yeah, I could probably buff it out. Don't worry about it.
Well, when I asked her about it, I said, what do you mean that one? There's no other dents or scrapes in here. She goes, well, I just wanted to be sure before I admitted guilt.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
I'm not a fan of women behind the wheel. I've seen too many disastrous scenarios happen. So I'm going to say, no, that's a suicide. You do not get a Catholic burial. Thank you for that setup, by the way. That was a perfect setup. All right. I got plenty of correct answers in the chat. Who's got the answer? Who hit it?
Steven does.
Steven! Yes! He's going to make it on the board.
Heyo.
Or he could get a -1.
Or he could go -1. That's true.
I'll get a -1 because I lost the third one. I admit it. I looked it up. I didn't know it. I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. I had Filio and Agape, and I know the third one. I'll let someone else try to get it before.
Oh, so you actually had to look it up. Okay.
Because
All right,
it was.
So you got to give us the translations too. So what is agape love?
Yeah.
All right. Steven's losing a point. Anybody else got it? Who else has it?
The next one was
Joe.
All right, Joe, what do you got?
Was it me? So he said Filio and Agape.
Yeah.
No, Filio is
My
brotherly
brain went-
love.
Yeah,
My
filial
brain
is
went to
brotherly
Eros.
love. So what is agape?
My brain,
Agape is like
like
the-
basically like love for the thing itself. Like
charitable love.
charity.
Yeah.
Caritas.
Yeah. And then the other one I had was Eros or no?
Eros. So the three types of love are agape is self-giving love, filial is brotherly love or familial love, and eros is erotic love. So those are the three different types of love. So, when Jesus asked Peter, do you love me? He says, do you love me filial? Says that twice. And then the last time he says, do you love me agape? Enough
Actually,
to die
I
for
think
me.
I have the Greek pulled up right here, and he says, our Lord says in John 21, agape all 3 times.
Oh, he does say agape all 3 times. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I heard a bad Lighthouse Catholic media talk, and they
You
just
lose a point, Anthony.
I must have heard a bad Jeff Cavins talk back in the day. All right, this one's pretty easy. It's not that it's easy; it's that it's pretty common Catholic knowledge. Who is the patron saint of lost causes?
Oh, dude.
Patron saint of lost causes.
Do my initial and last out of spite.
You're using up too much material that belongs on next week's marriage advice show. Yeah, so me and Rob are doing a marriage advice show next week.
Yes. That's the best show you've done so far. By the way.
We're gonna need couches to crash on.
And
I am so mad that I had bad, it was my first show. I had terrible audio on it. And it was the first one I ever did. And I just did like a quick 2-minute marriage advice thing. And it was like, I was just giving guys tips for I'm like, all right, so if your wife makes you guys lunch, you got to make sure if you don't eat it, you got to throw it out on the highway on the way home. Because if you come home and your wife sees your lunch in the lunchbox, she's never going to make you lunch. Because that happened to me. My wife finds out my lunch.
The
and I come
best
home
one
and
you said.
She flipped out. She's like, I'm never making you lunch. It took 3 years before she made me lunch again,
The best one you said was you got to make sure your wife thinks you're swinging a sledgehammer for 10 hours a day.
I remember that.
She can't know that you're sitting there for 5 hours or whatever watching Jordan Peterson videos.
Listen, I don't care how easy your job is. When you come home from work, your wife has to think you were swinging a sledgehammer for 13 hours straight in the rain, mud and all. Because if she knows we're listening to Jordan Peterson videos for 12 hours a day, she's never going to let you live it down. You're going to be outside mowing the lawn when you get home.
Oh.
So, yeah.
You had me dying, bro.
Well, this working from home has made that harder, huh?
This is see. I always know when Anthony's working because he's on She is 100% right. When I go on vacation, I don't go on Twitter at all. If I'm with my family, I don't go on it. The only time I touch Twitter is if I'm at work getting paid.
I think Kennedy was the first one to call you out on that. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
not convinced this guy's employed.
Because he doesn't work. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I get paid to watch you guys on YouTube all day. It's great.
Let's hope your boss isn't saying this.
That's my uncle. He's stuck with me. I told him all the time, like, you're stuck with me. Like, you couldn't get. I'll call my mother if you try to fire me. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get a friend a job right now, so we'll see how that goes.
I wonder who that is. Yeah.
We're working on it. I'll text you after this, Joe. I'll talk to you about it. I waited a year and a half before I had shelves. Yeah, that was another one of my things. I said, you know what? We should really save it for the marriage advice show because I'm going to repeat a lot of my jokes, and jokes are never as funny the second time you tell them. So
these ones are. These ones definitely are.
All right. Who is the patron saint of lost causes? Who hit it?
That would be the Apostle St. Jude Thaddeus.
Okay, Darren, you're trying to catch up to Joe, but Joe's got 8, you got 6, Steven has 1. Rob and Darren are tied at 6. Joe, I'm so happy you're winning. Joe, I'm so happy. All right, we got 2 questions left.
You allowed to root for?
He's my friend, all right? And he came in
It's
last
just like
last time he was
hometown
on.
thing, you know? Yeah.
And I can't wait
Like
for his
home
Malcolm
team,
X
you know what I
video.
Are we trying to get the highest score or the lowest?
Well, here's the thing. There's 2 questions left. So Darren and Rob have to get both questions, or Joe has to get a question wrong. Joe, you should just coast. Because more likely Rob will get one and Darren will get one.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for me.
This is like the 2
unless I know for
lead in
sure what
hockey,
the answer is. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
2-goal
right.
lead in hockey, it's the most dangerous lead.
Is it?
Shoot your shot, bro.
Yeah, he's right. All right. This one's easy, though. No, it's actually not. All right. Small candles in receptacles of glass placed before an altar or shrine are called what?
Rob put his initials in
So
after small receptacle.
I think Anthony may have forgot I have most of this game memorized.
Oh, he does. That's right.
Because I have the same game, and we spent 8 hours of driving one day going through all 1,500 questions.
But most of the questions aren't from the game. I pick a couple from it, and I try to rephrase
This is
them.
from the game, though.
Yeah, this one's from the game.
Rob
good
should
your
host
memory?
next week. And
I got
Anthony
plenty of
should just
answers,
play.
so go ahead.
You didn't watch the episode last week, Stephen. I'm not allowed to.
No, he
You're not allowed to host?
He lost his rights to host. He lost his rights to make up questions. He was asking. I wish I had 1 or 2 of them.
I caught the banter at the beginning, and then
Wait,
parental
did you see
duties.
the episode? Was that the episode where when I called him on the phone?
Yes. Yes.
I called him up. Listen, Matt, last week, Rob couldn't connect. So I call him on the phone with like 5 minutes into the episode airing, and he's nowhere to be found. He's not logging on. So I call him on speakerphone. I'm like, dude, you know we're on the air, right? He's like, I know. I can't get my computer to connect right now. I'm like, no pressure, buddy. You know, you're the one with all the questions this week. All right, Rob, go ahead. What's your answer?
Votive candles.
They are votive candles. All right. 1 question left. Anthony Stine, I cannot believe you stayed the whole show, man. Dude, if you see our text between each other, he's like,
Anthony likes us, man.
Dude, he texts me, he goes, listen, I don't do well at night. He goes, I'll come in the beginning, I'll hang for a little bit. I thought Matt would stay the whole show because I knew Matt would just have fun hanging with us, but I thought Anthony would be conked out by now.
Anthony, are
Anthony
you still
looks
in
like a
Central Time?
toddler does when he at about 11 o'clock.
Yeah, Ant, you have to record a video in like 2 hours. What are you doing?
No, I have everything. I try to give myself Saturday and Sunday off.
That's what I do. Like, so tonight I have to work tomorrow, but I could go in at like 10 a.m. So I'll get to sleep a little late tonight. So I'm not worried. All right. Last question. We're on the last question. You know what? Rob knows this one. I'm picking a different question. This is from the game. I'm digging
Wild
in
card.
here.
Rob,
I'm going wild card.
Rob's gonna know anyway. Rob's a smart dude.
Nah, if I ask a Bible question, he's got no shot.
That's because I'm a real Catholic.
If I ask a Bible question, there's no way. All right, we're gonna go. Ooh, that's a good one. 687. Let's see. Answer is 687. This is a good question. Hang on.
Ask him what the shortest book in the Bible is.
We had that.
We did that already.
We have that one.
We did that already. So that's actually controversial though, because John, the third letter of John is the shortest, but because he had two other letters, the game listed St. Jude's, the book of Jude, because the book of Jude is only one chapter, but John 3 is like 4 sentences.
But there's 3 books of John.
Yeah, there's 3 letters of John. There's John 1, 2, and 3. The third letter is literally 4 sentences. It's like,
so are all 3 letters considered one book? Because that's not how I grew up. That's not how I grew up, man.
Okay, this is a good one.
Make sure I lose.
All right. This is a good question. What does the church call?
Stop it, Rob.
Well, I have to go if I have a chance at winning.
Okay. What does the church call, although not widely used in the United States, the day before Ash Wednesday? Not Fat Tuesday. What does the church call it?
Rob's gonna know that.
You think so?
You would think.
Yeah, look at him. He's like this. He's
well, if he does know it, then it's a tie, and we got to go to another question, and then you really got to battle it out.
I told you that 2-goal lead, man. It's the most dangerous lead in.
Yeah, it is pretty dangerous
in trivia.
I honestly, I am so I'm so happy our audience stays, man. What a cool audience we have. Ashley's in the chat, and me and Ashley are going to be on Tim Flanders' show tomorrow together.
Ooh, Guild Ashley?
Yeah.
What up?
So we're going to go on and talk about the St. Anthony's Fellowship, and also we're going to talk about this show a little bit. And I figured Ashley was the perfect person to have on with me because Ashley won the chat, and I sent her a copy of Humility of Heart.
Where's Ashley from again?
Canada, Ontario. So I had to go through Amazon Canada to get it to her.
Extra $10.
In case of a tie, you guys have to do a pull-up competition.
Oh, it's
Joe's in the gym for 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna
go.
I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to be that guy. I only brag on Twitter, not on video.
All right, so we got answers in the chat. Who hit it?
Rob,
come
did.
I put it in before you even started asking.
All right, what do you got?
100%.
Well, I suppose there's potentially 2 answers, but Shrove Tuesday and
Shrove
Mardi
Tuesday.
Gras.
All right, we got a tie, guys. Matt Gaspers, come up with the tie-breaking question, bro.
Oh.
Come on, Matt. Think of something. Go look at one of those books on your shelf back there. Come on. Come on, let's think of a good question. Anthony Stine, you got a good question? Come on.
He's pretending that he doesn't have one teed up.
The only trivia question I have would be probably would rile up the audience a little bit. So
you want to know? You know who sends me great questions all the time? Steve Cunningham. Let me see, because he sends them to me all the time, and they're so insane. I'm like, Steve, nobody's gonna know that. He's like, yeah, but that's
okay. I might have one. So we were talking a little bit ago about
now. How are we doing the format? Hold on. So now is it just me and Rob?
We should do that. We should just do you and Rob, because Darren blew it. Steven doesn't have a chance. So I say just you two get to go, and I say here's what I say. Here's what happens.
Give Steven a chance to get to 0.
I've also grown up in Minnesota, so the AL Central, the Royals, before they won the World Series a few years ago, would always beat somebody and eliminate them from the playoffs. I want to be that guy.
Here's what I'm going to say. Listen, I'm pulling a last-minute rule. Do either of you guys have pen and paper? You guys have pen and paper?
Yeah, I do. I got, yeah.
All right. He's going to ask the question. I want you guys to write the answer on the paper, and I want you to hold it up to the screen. We're not going to play this Rob hit the button faster, because Rob will hit the button before Matt even asked the question, and I don't like that. I want to see if you both know it, and we'll see how that goes. This is a great show. We got a tiebreaker and everything.
So we're taking newlywed game rules.
That might have to be a permanent rule, by the way. Writing it in for the live contestants.
I don't know. It seems to work.
I'm not bitter or anything, but
you want to hear one of Steve Cunningham's questions? I don't think you guys will get it, but I'm going to ask this one. All right, Steve Cunningham sent me.
Go ahead.
Whose Franciscan feast day is Wednesday, April 27th? Hint is they started the Third Order Secular Franciscans.
I may know that.
Nobody's going to know that, right?
Can I throw an answer out there?
You can throw an answer out. It doesn't count.
It's not Raymond Lully, is it?
No.
Peter Canisius?
Yeah.
No,
He
it's
was a
Saint
Jesuit.
Gabriel of Our Lady of Sorrows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did a video on him like last year. I should have known that.
Should have known I'd come back from the Rosie and y'all still be. Well, we do 8 to 10 usually, so we say 8 to 10, but we really do 7:50 to 9:50, something like that.
Anthony, what we really need to do here with tiebreakers, we need to actually have all of Anthony Stine's code words for things on his podcast. So if you can name
those of the James Martin lifestyle, a certain bishop from Kazakhstan.
Hey,
that's funny. You know we all watch your stuff, bro.
Yeah.
by the way, what is the genesis of that? Is do you know it? Like, when did that start? Because that's bizarre.
When did what start?
The you can't say Bishop Athanasius Schneider's name.
I suspect it had to do with me uploading his letter talking about how Islam and Christianity are not, in fact, the same, and that we don't worship the same God. I think YouTube took umbrage to that.
Now, how do you know? What do you just check your analytics and you can see it?
Well, no, because the video got demonetized. My channel analytics cratered for like a month after that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little surprising.
So when you're demonetized, are you demonetized permanently?
You can have a video demonetized, or you can have your channel demonetized. And I haven't had that happen yet, but it happens to people. But there's also analytic consequences. They won't recommend your video or videos for a while to people. Like you can go into your YouTube Creator Studio and see that the people clicking through it are all your subscribers. That they're not sending it to new people, and it can just kill your traffic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to you on the side about it, growing the channel a little bit, because we've been stuck at like 300 subscribers over here, and I honestly think it's a fun show. I don't know. I feel like it has potential to. I mean, there's no controversy in it. We're not talking about anything crazy. It's just a group of guys hanging out, having fun.
There's definitely been controversy in this show tonight.
When I first started, I had it took me months before I hit 1,000, and then when you hit 1,000, something happens with the algorithm,
and it starts picking up speed from there.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out if Hugo Boss is one of those words that just
Dude, oh my God. I almost don't want to repeat it. We brought up the German army from the 1940s.
That word that begins with the letter N, you do not. A lot of the angry nerd channels, secular channels that I sometimes watch, just when I'm bored, they'll use the term Yahtzee to describe.
Okay, so the Yahtzees. We were talking about the Yahtzees, and we were saying how well they dressed. I said, say what you want about the Yahtzees, but they dressed really well.
They were really sharp dressers, yeah.
And then Trevor said, "Yeah, I think Hugo Boss made their outfits, made their uniforms."
Call them Azovs, or the Ukrainian. Call them Ukrainian variation of the N-word.
Wait, my sister said 1,000 followers is all you need, and then the page will grow on its own after that. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's true.
You'll probably get more views if you have women on. It's 2022, lots of feminists out there. Well, maybe if Ariana would come on the show, we could help with that.
The feminists are not going to like the women we put on.
The women that watch this show are going to... We should have Ariana, Hope, and Shelby on.
if you get any women to come on your show, you have to get them to make the joke at the beginning that said that their husband gave them permission to come on.
I was just gonna say you need to have Steph Gordon on. If there's any way you can pull that off.
All right, Matt, do you have any questions? Did you pick one out?
Okay, I don't think this is. I'm trying to gauge if it's too.
Yeah, you can't go incredibly
obscure.
hard. You want to go just
Oh,
hard enough.
I like
If
it pure.
And if you really want to help Joe win, ask an SSPX question. Ask something about the SSPX because Joe will win that. That's how me and Joe know each other. We go to the same SSPX parish.
Gotcha.
So often. Which
No, ask him an arcane, like Catholic Family News related.
And the April
I
issue.
love John Veneri, man. Love John Veneri.
Oh yes. Let me think here. So the question I had in mind was related to the previous one about the 3 different kinds of love. So there is an encyclical on that subject that was written in the fairly recent history. So you could either give, I guess, what do you want? The Pope who wrote it or the name of the encyclical?
It's got to be the name of the encyclical.
Yeah, let's do the name.
All right, you guys got to write the answer down on the paper if you know it. Write the answer down on the paper if you know it.
I have like a decent guess. I just don't know if it's correct.
And I'll
Will we accept the English translation?
It has to be the Latin title of the encyclical. So that right there eliminates the current pontiff.
I might just read a scripture passage, and you guys have to tell me what book in scripture it is. If neither of you get this right.
Well, I'm going to give a hint, a scriptural hint. So, encyclicals are the first few words of the text. So the title of the encyclical is somewhere in the following verse.
I'm guessing this is a joke, right?
No. So first, it's 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is charity.
That makes it way too easy.
This is why, like, you guys don't realize why I'm good at trivia because I stink at stuff. So, like, Matt is too smart, Rob is too smart. These guys are like in the weeds of like the hardest stuff to know. Where I ask questions that are like, it's like Catholicism for dummies.
So the Latin title of the encyclical
I got the answer.
I switched over to the
verse.
I switched over to comments, and people don't even know what Pope wrote it.
No, but I think Brandon's got it, right, Darren?
Oh yeah,
Brandon's got it.
It's a little long. Yeah. It's a little long, but yeah, he's basically got it.
Rob, stop cheating.
I'm not cheating.
Over. All right.
Thank you.
If we can't trust you,
I finished writing already.
All right, I hope so.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. We got our answers down.
What a fun group of guys, man. You know what this show does? It really shows that, like, you could be just Catholic dudes hanging out and having fun.
That's right.
And the girls can hang too, and they have fun too, and they're just as fun as us.
Have you seen Gregory McKinnon's comment?
Which one? That'll happen. Wait, let's see. That'll happen when the wives take over for gardening advice and explaining how dead husbands are the best fertilizer.
Oh shit!
One of the best quotes I've ever heard.
His sister. What, you won't be able to joke about women driving. That's why I haven't had any on yet.
One of the best quotes I've ever heard. If I would have killed him by now, if I would have killed him when I met him, I'd be out by now.
Who said that?
My ma.
Your mother?
No, that's a popular joke at anniversaries. Like, yeah, if I took the prison sentence, I'd be out by now.
Minnesota passive aggressiveness at its best.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, I can't join in and you guys saying these things about your spouses. I love my spouse. She's amazing. She's a doll. She's also.
I thought you said she doesn't watch these.
Nah, she never watches. I can honestly say anything. But I have sisters watching, and they'll tell her. So it's worse than her watching.
That is worse.
Yeah,
That's definitely worse.
my wife might take the joke. My sister will explain it later. Like, you can't believe what he said about you.
I'm not saying divorce him, but it's pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure this qualifies an annulment. All right, so let's see. Do you guys have the answer?
Yeah.
I have an
I have
answer.
words written.
All right, so let's see what you guys said.
Put it up.
Well, just read it. Let's see what you said.
Deus Caritas.
Rob, you,
That is incomplete.
Deus Caritas.
S Caritas.
Joe, what'd you say?
and I just put Cassie Kanubi.
All right, you're up. So Rob's closer. It's Deus Caritas Est, right?
Yeah.
Deus
Latin.
Caritas Est. So here's what I'm going to
I
do
would
to
have not
tiebreak
put the
this.
S in it.
You guys are gonna write down what book of the Bible this is from.
Okay.
For let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, for who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, being made in the likeness of men, and in the habit found as a man. It's one of the most famous scripture verses. You don't have to tell me what chapter, what book of the Bible did Paul write that in? Christ emptied himself, taking the form of a slave,
Was Paul?
becoming obedient unto death, even death on the cross. Yeah, it's a famous Paul quote.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can,
It's one of my favorite Bible verses, so I could have told you right off the bat, but that's because I love that verse and I know it. You don't have to tell me what chapter, just what book. And I know Rob's going to butcher this, and he's going to say Romans.
That was
I guess, Anthony.
yeah.
Jake says Romans. I hope so. Michelle, you're wrong.
Mhm.
A lot of wrong answers.
A lot of
Jake's
wrong answers.
A lot of wrong answers.
Shelbs is about as right as anybody else. The most right. Protestant ex-Protestants are yelling.
Yelling at their screens. A lot of wrong answers. I'm seeing a lot of wrong answers.
Still wrong, yeah.
Nope, Brandon, wrong. Nobody has it right.
This is frustrating that I'm not in this.
My sister says she's not playing anymore. Come on. He took the form of a slave, emptying himself.
I do have an answer other than Romans now.
Humbled himself, becoming obedient unto death, even death on a cross.
We heard this recently at the traditional
Somebody
mass.
finally
we
got the
did.
right answer.
I got a right answer. And it's Rob's wife. Rob's wife got the right answer. Me and Hope are going to do a Bible study one day on our channel.
You really should.
Me and Hope are going to do a Bible study one day on our channel. I'm telling you.
She could use to learn the real meanings of everything.
Brandon says, it's not fair. I'm not allowed to read the Bible. The Protestants keep telling me we're not allowed. Jake's guessing every book it's not.
Yeah, we heard this on Palm Sunday.
Yes, we did.
Just
Just recently.
I think it also has the verse that work out your salvation with fear and trembling, right?
No, that comes a little bit later. A couple.
But it's
verses
the same
later.
book, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to live it down. Hope.
All right. You guys got an answer?
Sure.
What do you got?
1 Timothy.
Incorrect.
No.
What do you got, Joe?
Well, Joe.
I put Ephesians.
What'd you put?
Ephesians.
No, you guys are both wrong. All right. We gotta do Catholic Bible trivia, man. You guys all
Philippians.
it's Philippians. Come on, man.
Every answer is the Book of Maccabees.
All right, how about this? How about this one? What book in the Bible does Paul insult Peter? Which book in the Bible? I hope. Which book in the Bible does Paul insult Peter? Dude, we're doing a Bible study on this channel because you guys don't read enough scripture.
All of them.
No, there's one very specific book where Paul.
Well, technically, he's recounting an episode from when he resisted Peter to the face.
Right, but he's almost incorrect. He thought Peter went and told this group of people that they needed to be circumcised, but it was not Peter that did that. It was somebody else. So, never mind. I'll give it. That'll be a.
No, wasn't
be a hint.
I thought he rebuked Peter to his face. He said because Peter wasn't eating with the Gentiles.
Yeah, but he was
Because they uncircumcised,
yelling at this group of people because somebody had told them that they needed to be circumcised. He was talking about the Judaizers,
right?
And he said, "Oh, foolish." That's a big hint.
There's a really
very
big
big
hint.
hint.
That's a really big hint out there.
It's a really big hint. Yeah, it's an axe, Jake.
No, you still have that up there from last question.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
All right, what do you guys got?
why do you have to torture us with these questions?
Because I know neither of you read your Bible enough. All right, we're gonna go gospel questions after this if you don't get it. What do you guys got?
I put Galatians.
What do you got, Rob?
Colossians?
What?
Colossians.
And what'd you say, Joe?
Galatians.
Yeah, it's Galatians.
Oh, there we go.
It's Oh, foolish Galatians, who beguiled you? Who beguiled you, oh foolish Galatians? All right, I'm going to give you one more chance, Robin. I'm going to pick something from the Gospels. But Joe's winning right now.
Just win.
He did win, but I just like picking on you because you don't know enough scripture. Dude, this guy's got every council of the church ever memorized. He knows every single but he doesn't read enough Bible. And Hope and I are we're gonna remedy that. Let's see. Okay.
It's funny because I only live an hour and a half away from the most famous Bible podcaster in the world.
Who Father Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, which chapter in Matthew does Jesus say what God has put asunder, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder? Which chapter in Matthew does Jesus say what God has joined together, let no man put asunder? Our teaching on the indissolubility of marriage.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you. This is a big comeback for me. I have no idea, by the way.
Oh, crap. Just knocked my headphones out.
I actually know this one. It's the first question I've known all night. Real quick.
We got to get him in the trivia more often.
Actually, I think I know it.
These are questions I know off the top of my head. So, neither of you know?
No.
No?
No.
Matthew 19, man. Right after the whole Matthew. No, that's Matthew 16.
And that one I would have known, but.
All right. Matt, you got another question? Anthony Stine, you got a question for these guys?
I sent you the question I had, so you can see it later. I sent
What, on Twitter?
Yeah, it's. I don't. I mean, you can read it if you want, but I suggest you double check it first.
Let's see.
Have you read any of the questions I sent you?
My question's a little spicy, I think. So.
No, I think this is okay. Okay. Let's say why'd you say which future pontiff?
because
So
it happened before he was pontiff.
Oh, okay. So before he was pope. Okay. So before he was pope, his doctoral writings were rejected by the eminent theologian of his time at the most prestigious clerical university in Rome for being suspect of heresy.
Ooh,
He becomes pope eventually. I want to know who the pope was, and I even want to know which theologian it was.
Anyone with
Steven knows.
I think.
Timothy's been Flanders has been going on about this for a while. Pretty sure.
I need to go catch up on Mr. Flanders' show then.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's who it is.
Sure.
Well, because the one who rejected him wasn't a very preeminent theologian.
That's me.
Yeah.
No,
Joe's got to pee.
Actually,
Joe, you got to pee. Go ahead.
Anthony, question. I put
Well,
the
I
wrong
gotta turn
name
off
for
the
the.
camera.
I put the wrong name for the theologian.
Okay, tell me the right answer.
Yeah, I'm tired. This is why my brain isn't working.
Joe's going to pee real quick, so give him a sec.
There. I'm going to double check dates though.
Should we sandbag Joe and give Rob all the answers right now when Joe comes back?
So the second answer should be the correct one for the theologian.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Garanjay, Anthony, Steve Cunningham sends me stuff about Garanjay all the time, and it's like the questions that he'll ask me, I'm just like, dude, nobody's gonna know that. Like, but he's like, yeah, well, if they watched his show in the morning, like there'll be a sermon on it, huh?
So they watch all 30 of the videos he uploads every day.
Well, that's what it is. So he said, if they watch the sermon on my channel this one, I'm like, well, dude, not everybody's got 9 hours to sit around and watch a channel all day.
Yeah, just saying.
We're all waiting for Joe to come back from peeing. All right, we could do some other questions while we're waiting, though.
Yeah, let's
Just
go
for the
for it.
audience. What was the name of the French Protestant of the 16th, 17th centuries who followed Calvin? Followers of Calvin, what were they called?
Huguenots.
Couldn't pronounce it in French.
Huguenots.
Losers. Sorry, guys.
Wait, who said that? Trevor?
The guy with the French last name.
Yes, losers. Okay, so the Mass is both a sacrament and a
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. If this was verbal instead of typing, I'd be winning right now. Just want to let you guys know.
What does okay?
Probably
What
not.
what is the Feast of the Holy Innocents commemorate?
The slaughter of the children killed by Herod.
Yeah,
The first martyrs.
27 December.
After the Feast of St. Stephen.
Yep.
It's also the sort of informal observance for the victims of the current ongoing Holocaust.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hi guys.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
You already lost, Joe. Sorry, bro.
All right. So the question again is, which future
They called me
pontiff had his
PEDs.
doctoral writings rejected by an eminent theologian of his time at the most prestigious clerical university in Rome for being suspect of heresy? Who is the Pope and who is the theologian?
I like this question.
I have like an ironic guess, but
I have like two guesses.
All right, you guys want to? All right, Joe already won, but let's hash this out. Let's see what you guys think.
So, I guess I'll say who the future pontiff was. I forgot the name of the professor. but
Theologian.
yeah, Joseph Ratzinger, and the theologian is. Yeah, I forgot the guy's name. I didn't think it was that famous, but he had his thesis rejected.
yeah, I don't think so.
Was it Garrigou Lagrange?
You got the theologian.
The pontiff
The Pope
was
is Pius
JP2.
X. It was JP2.
Yeah.
I mean, according to Anthony Stine, I gotta.
He had to go. If you look at John.
No,
Paul's
Mrs.
ticket,
C, give me the winner. Mrs. C, give me the winner.
he finished his PhD in Poland, I think.
No, I mean, Trevor, you're right about what Flanders
Faith,
was
thank
saying.
you for joining us, Faith. I'm so glad you guys stuck around. Mrs. C, you got to tell me who won. Brandon got it.
I thought
All
it was
right,
John.
my
I actually thought it was
sister.
John the 23rd.
Michelle, good night.
No.
Before everyone goes, if everyone could do me a favor and pray for the soul of my dad. I found out he died about 10 minutes before the show started.
What? Are you kidding me?
I put it in the private chat
You put it on the private.
Yeah.
when I was taking a phone call for a while.
Oh man, Rob, what a devastating news. You held it together good tonight, man. Wow.
Go spend some time.
Please.
Go spend some time in front of the Blessed Sacrament if you can.
Yeah,
Well, no, we'll close out the show with a Hail Mary for your father, man.
thank you.
Was your father in the church?
Officially, he got last rites though.
Okay.
Was he like geographically close to you?
Yeah, we just moved him up here about 2 months ago. So
Yeah, and I know that like an episode or two ago, you had to dip on us.
Yeah.
Cut out early because you're having a couple of things. So, all right, guys, this was an awesome time. I'm just waiting on Mrs. C to tell me who won. As soon as Mrs. C tells me who won, we will close out the show. And Matt and Ant, dude, I'm so freaking grateful that you guys are sticking for the whole show, man. I am like beyond grateful that you guys stayed for the whole time. I had so much fun, man. This is a great episode. This is a really good episode, man.
Hopefully, it'll get a lot of likes and a lot of shares.
I hope so, man. What a fun!
We see too many bad things.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I just sent the link to my patrons. So
okay, Brandon, Jacob, third grade. So I'm going to tell you, Brandon's already won something. Jacob's already. Well, no, Jacob. All right, so I'll send Jake something because Jeff just won something. So I sent Jake a copy of The Sinner's Guide, which is a phenomenal book. I sent Jake a copy of The Sinner's Guide when he was on. I have.
What are you trying to say about Jake, Anthony?
No, I'm sorry, Brandon. I sent Brandon a copy of The Sinner's Guide. Jake was on, and I sent him nothing because he came in second.
Didn't Jacob leave in the middle of the show and then come back?
Did he?
Today he did.
Oh, today he did. Yeah. So maybe Jake Fowler. Jake Fowler killed it, but I'm not sending him a prize. Jake Fowler's a beast. So
His
Brandon
will batter him to come on the show.
All right, we'll figure it out. But Matt Gaspers, thank you so much, Matt. It was so nice to meet you in person finally.
Yeah,
for
sure.
a little bit. Anthony Stine, you have always been so cool to me, man. I'm like beyond grateful to you guys. Trident Team Brewery, Trevor, you're awesome. Jason, I want to get you on next week with Mark. Are you going to be able to do that?
Yeah, I should be able to be on the whole show next week.
Okay, Steven, you going to come back and redeem yourself after this mess? Darren, you're always a blast, man. I've had really good time with you both last episodes. Rob, you are my co-host and you are indentured to me and you're not going anywhere. Guys, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really hope everybody enjoyed this as much as I did because this is a really fun show.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Anytime, man. We're gonna
Good
sign
meeting
off.
you guys.
We're gonna
God
hang in
bless
the
you all.
green room for a few minutes and say goodbye to each other in private. The audience, thank you so much. I'm gonna look through the comments real quick, and I'm gonna send because I know I saw. Let me see which. I'm gonna send something to Faith because Faith said this really nice thing to us. So Faith, I know you outside of this. I'm sending you something, Faith. So congratulations, you're tonight's winner. I don't care who won the actual chat. Guys, thank you so much, man.